Welcome to Season 2, Episode 18 of Full House Rewind. I'm Dave Coulier.
And I'm Marla Sokoloff.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing? How are you feeling? What's your any updates for us?
I'm feeling good. My hair has not grown back at this time yet.
Wow, it didn't grow back in 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks.
No,
it's weird.
It didn't grow back. So that's been a little bit of an adjustment. I realize how much that hair keeps you warm. Like
Really?
If I don't wear a chapeau, it gets a little cold here in Michigan where I'm at.
Well,
Yeah.
that'll come in handy during the summer, I guess. It's like a little air conditioning on your head.
True. But then you gotta make sure you put sunblock on.
Yeah.
But my hair will probably, I don't know if I'm gonna let it grow like super long to kind of make up for it. But,
Yeah.
it'll be nice to have hair again.
Yes, I know. It's so funny. I saw this, meme the other day. It was like, if your nose isn't running right now, appreciate the heck out of that, because once your nose starts running, you forget how wonderful it is to be healthy. And I'm sure that that's like a similar, feeling that you have, where you're like, did I appreciate my health when I had it? And now I have all of these challenges.
I wish it was just my nose running.
I know.
It's been kind of a roller coaster ride. Different effects and people who are watching the show or listening to the show who have been here before, that it's a roller coaster because the side effects have side effects, and then you take a drug to counteract that and this and that. So it's this constant cocktail where your body is in fight or flight mode, and you're just trying to adjust to like, okay, how am I adjusting to steroids? How am I adjusting to the chemo cocktail, and then how am I adjusting to all these other things? And, your body's in a fight. It's a little bit of an internal battle.
Yeah.
But I have heard from so many people, Marla, who have been affected by cancer in their lives. And, the words of encouragement have, I think, really helped people.
Yeah.
And so that, to me, is worth the journey of all of this.
100%. Yeah.
And, if I have to feel a little out of sorts for a few months, then so be it. But just being able to, alert people that it's okay to get colonoscopy or early screenings or, a mammogram, it's really worth it. So,
yeah. I can share that I was overdue for my mammogram by about 6 months. And the second you and I spoke, I booked it, went. Everything's all good. And it's just having that peace of mind. You can't abandon yourself when there are appointments that are due or tests that are due or screenings. It's like you have to stay on top of it.
Yeah. Early detection means everything. And for so many people, it can save your life, which is remarkable. So,
yeah.
But,
okay. Well,
life goes on and the show goes on, right?
Right, which I think is amazing that you're still like, I'm doing the show, I'm doing my thing, I'm not slowing down, this can't stop me. Plan A is still in effect. And I think that that's really incredible.
Yeah. Well, I have a hard time sitting still.
I do
As
too.
my wife, Melissa, will tell you, I have a hard time just it's hard to lay in bed, and there's some days where I just naturally get pushed into bed like, okay, I can't think straight. I can't do anything. So I need to just go lay down. That's really hard for me to do in the middle of a day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a big adjustment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, what's wrong with us that we can't relax? I'll like go to a yoga class and I'll look around like, how is everybody so relaxed? Don't they have worries and anxiety and things to do? I'm so confused.
I think it's called having a type A personality.
Is that it? Yeah. Okay.
I think that's part of it. We're internally driven and that's never going to go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been busy. What's been the word about you? I mean, I'm so proud of you. You directed,
Thanks, Dave.
You directed your movie, and just great things are going to be coming to you on the horizon.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to work together one day where I could direct you. That would be really fun. Just things have been great. Just busy working and momming and all that stuff.
That's a lot of plates. It's a lot
So
of
many
plate spinning.
plates.
Do people even, you use that as a reference, plate spin. I've got a lot of plate spinning.
Yeah.
But do people even know where that comes from?
I don't. Do you?
Well, I do.
Of course you do, Dave. Of course you do.
I do. As a matter of fact, like there was a guy on the Ed Sullivan Show, which was the and he would go up and continue, making them spin, and then he'd add another one. And, that's where that saying comes from is, man, you got a lot of plates spinning in the air. But he was a variety act. I don't know what his name was, but I'm sure you can Google it somewhere.
Yeah.
About the plate spinning guy.
I mean, little did he know he was going to be such a famous, saying.
That's true. Like, where do sayings come from?
I do not know. They just catch on. And then, when you, like, I'm sure when your son was younger, he would say stuff that to you just felt so crazy. Like my daughter, if you say something to her, my older daughter, that's like, she's like, yeah, Mom, like if you did something that you're like, how good is this dinner that I made? She's like, you ate. Mom, you ate. This is so good. Or like your outfit, wow, you're like, you ate in that outfit. And I'm just like, I feel instantly like 500 years older than her because I'm like, where do these things come from? But then I remember I also had sayings that my parents thought were crazy, and it keeps on going.
My dad used to say, well, I'll be, whenever he either wasn't interested in what somebody was saying, he would just sit there and nod his head and listen politely, and then he'd go, well, I'll be.
Was that your cue to wrap it up?
I think it was his cue for everybody to wrap it up. Or he would say, is that right? Is that right?
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I could tell him, like, Dad, you're not listening. Well, I'll be.
Yeah, that's like sometimes I'll notice I'll do that. Someone tell me a story. I'll be like, wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. That's my version of it. That is crazy. That means I've heard enough.
My grandma, whenever she was confounded, I guess, she would say, heavens to Betsy. Where did that come from? And then I heard another. I don't know who Betsy is. Is it Betsy Ross? Who designed the American flag?
She might be the only famous Betsy that I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any other. I can think of a few Bettys. Betty Boop, Betty from the Flintstones.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know, Fred. Hey, Bon, the girls will never find out. I'm going to tell Betty about this. Don't tell Betty. Whatever you do, Bon. Yeah.
Wait, what was his name? Is Barney and Fred. Duh.
Fred and Barney.
Yeah.
And then it was Betty and Wilma.
Yeah, of course.
Which was actually, the Flintstones was actually a takeoff of the Honeymooners.
I think I did know that. That sounds familiar to me. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Flintstones at one point were the #1 show on primetime television.
It's crazy to think that the Flintstones was even on primetime television and that wasn't just some Saturday morning cartoon.
Crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Good old Hanna-Barbera.
I think we've covered everything.
I feel good about this. I think it's nice for the fans to have like a little catch up, like.
I think so. Absolutely. And who doesn't love catch up?
And also, thank God we're both so interesting, Dave. We have so much to share.
So I heard kind of a cheesy dad joke. Do you want to hear it?
I mean, are all dad jokes cheesy? I feel like that's just kind of one and the same. Okay, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So this one I heard, I don't know if you've heard about this. Apparently Elon Musk is going to, he's got a restaurant on the moon now.
Oh, wow.
And I hear that the menu is fantastic, but it's just a bad atmosphere. I made you laugh.
You did. I can't tell if I'm being polite. I think it's a little polite, but like I do, it's funny. It's funny.
That was. I should do one really bad dad joke at the beginning of each episode.
That is so cute. I love that idea.
Okay. All right. So we're on episode 18 of season 2. So we're going to try and include that.
One bad dad joke.
I'll have to write some jokes.
I
Yeah,
mean,
some
I don't even know if you need to write them. I'm sure there are multiple times in a day. Let's get Melissa to start taking some notes, and I might take some notes because my husband does that thing where we're at a restaurant. Do you ever do this where he's like eats his whole dinner and then they come to clean up? He's like, I hated it, and something about me sends me. It's just I'm like, why? Why do you have to do that every single time? And it's a full-on dad joke.
I already have my dad joke for, I think I have the next 2 shows. I think I have my dad joke just because of what Alec did at the restaurant.
Great. I'm really looking forward to it.
So that's my dad joke for episode 18 of season 2, which is also known as Goodbye, Mr. Bear. Mm-hmm. This episode was directed by Jack Shea and first aired on ABC on March 24th, 1989. So Marla, why don't you give us a little description of what this episode is about?
Okay. Or should I just pitch it to you?
Yeah, sure. Pitch it to me. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of an elevator pitch? An elevator pitch. Have you ever heard of that before?
I've heard of an elevator pitch, yeah, but why don't we explain what that is exactly?
Okay, so basically it's like a brief pitch. A lot of times TV writers or creators will just give a very quick pitch on what the show is. It's just designed to get you excited or interested in the project, but like very quickly. So it's called an elevator pitch because it's short enough to deliver a quick elevator ride, no more than 2 minutes.
So, okay, all right, that's a great idea. So let's hear what the elevator pitch is.
Okay, we all know that Stephanie's beloved Mr. Bear, and in this episode, he goes missing, which is really scary. Nobody wants him to be missing. This is particularly hard for Stephanie because it was a gift from her mom, who passed away. And in the midst of their grief, the Tanner family shares cherished memories of Pam. As the family reminisces, they discover the importance of love and memories.
Did you, I had a favorite toy when I was a kid.
I definitely did. What was yours?
Mine was a Yogi Bear, a stuffed Yogi Bear doll. And I got mad at him one time because my brother took him or something, and I punched a hole in his stomach. And my brother said, "Why would you do that?" I said, "Because now he has a belly button." And I'm trying to remember, but then my Yogi Bear had a belly button.
And it was just like some of the stuffing coming out, or what?
Yeah. Yeah. And it drove my mom crazy because that stuffing just got everywhere.
Of course. Yeah. I had a dog, and I'll never forget this. I was on a family cruise. I was like 5 years old, and there was this puppy in the gift shop. You know, they always get you in those gift shops. And there was a stuffed puppy, and I wanted it so bad. And my mom was not wanting to buy it for me. And she's like, "You have too many stuffed animals. We're not getting this." And I was in hysterics, as a 5-year-old, tends to be. And my dad went back and bought it for me. And my little puppy was my favorite thing ever. Now, there's a second part to this story. We moved houses about 5 years ago. And there was like a box that never made it to my house, and puppy's in it. And I don't have puppy anymore. And I'd like, sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and you remember something like so painful that you just try not to think about. I'm like, no, puppy he's in a box somewhere. He's safe, but I don't even have him anymore. And it's anyway, I'll call my therapist about this later. It's very traumatic.
Now, do you hand down puppy?
If I had puppy, I would. I totally would if I had puppy.
Yeah.
I have a blankie too. I'd give that to one of my girls probably. Yeah.
Yeah. I never had a blankie.
No?
Although I had a hockey stick. I had a hockey stick and a puck.
So that was like your security blanket kind of a thing?
I would sleep with it at night. I would sleep with my hockey stick and
hockey puck.
Because I love the smell of the fiberglass on the blade, and the puck has a very distinct rubber smell. And I loved hockey so much when I was a kid that I would sleep with my stick and my puck.
Wow, you are a true fan of hockey.
Yeah.
It's really...
I don't do that anymore. I mean,
are you sure?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Once I got married, my wife said, "Hey, no more."
It's me or the hockey puck, dude. Sorry, you can't have us both.
No more stick and puck. Sorry, out of here. All right, well, we're going to describe what's happening in this episode, and what the heck, I'll start us off. Season 2, episode 18 opens with a teaser in Michelle's room. She's watching a wind-up toy ballerina spin and singing the word baby over and over again. How cute.
Jesse enters. Michelle asks Jesse to sing the song. And as he begins to sing the song, Michelle stops him and says, "My turn." And she begins singing the song again. As Jesse exits, Michelle continues to sing the song.
And then the show begins in the living room. It's early morning, and Jesse, Joey, and the girls stand at attention looking tired. And Danny is wearing a tool belt. Bob hated that. Bob hated that tool belt.
Why?
Because he would make jokes. He said, "Look what my career has turned into. I'm a guy who wears a tool belt and is obsessed about cleaning." And I said, "But that's such a great character hook. Have fun with it."
Good. Yeah.
He goes, "You get to come in the room, say a joke, and leave, and I have to wear a tool belt."
Right. Yeah. Fair.
He hated that.
So funny.
And here's Bob, Danny, wearing a tool belt filled with cleaning supplies. And he talks to the group like they're Marines, and he's the drill instructor. And the family sounds off with a Marine Corps-like cadence, and Danny then marches upstairs. Danny remains in the living room, happy that spring cleaning has begun.
Of course, he's happy about this. We cut to the girls' room, and Stephanie's talking to Mr. Bear about spring cleaning and removing toys from the toy box. DJ and Michelle enter. DJ offers Michelle the chance to pick one of the toys to keep. She quickly grabs Mr. Bear and begins to exit, but is stopped by Stephanie, who takes Mr. Bear away from Michelle.
Oh, man. Well, then Joey enters. He asks, which items are going to charity? And as Joey begins putting things into a bag, Danny enters. He grabs Stephanie's hand and enlists her to help clean behind the refrigerator. What kid doesn't want to do that?
What a fun day.
Exit. Yeah, it's a fun day. Yeah.
Come on, Danny. We get to the kitchen. Danny is waxing the countertop as Michelle cleans her toy kitchen set. Jesse enters and slides across the newly waxed countertop. He opens a kitchen drawer and the handle snaps off. Jesse grabs Michelle and exits to buy a new handle for the drawer.
You know, when John used to slide across the countertop, because he would do that as an entrance all the time, I said, "You're going to get a sliver in your butt." And I used to say to him all the time, I said, "I don't know if I would do that." He goes, "It's linoleum. That's not, isn't it? Sliver." I said, "One of these times you're going to get a sliver in your butt and it's going to hurt." So that was.
And did he?
Never got a sliver in his butt.
Never got a sliver. He was right all along.
He was right all along.
I would be scared that I would be like sliding and then continue sliding and not stop. That's what would happen to me.
See, I wouldn't, because I would just jump off. I'd be really concerned about the sliver in the butt.
Right. No, I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
That would hurt. That's like, okay, stop production. Yeah. We're going to get the sliver out of the butt. Comes a big deal. One of our stars. One of our stars has a sliver in the butt. Let's shut it down. All right. All right. What else is happening? Stephanie enters and tells Danny that Mr. Bear is missing, and DJ enters wearing her karate outfit. And I think Candace was taking real karate classes. And so they incorporated it into the show.
Oh, okay. That's smart.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she grabs Danny and exits to the living room where Joey is cleaning the couch. Danny begins an inspection. I can't say that word for some reason.
Danny begins an
inspection of the living room. There we go.
You did it.
Yeah, I did it. I got through it. I had what's called a vowel movement.
Oh no. Two dad jokes in one episode.
Two dad jokes. Okay. All right. DJ grabs Danny's hand and they exit, and Joey jumps on the couch and celebrates.
We cut to the girls' room. As Joey enters, he sees Stephanie frantically looking for Mr. Bear. Joey tells Steph to take a deep breath and asks when the last time she saw Mr. Bear. Joey then realizes that he may have given Mr. Bear away with the other items. As he begins to exit, he sees Stephanie saying a little prayer and asking for a miracle.
Oh, isn't that cute? We cut to the living room. Danny and DJ are returning home from karate class. I don't think he has his tool belt on any longer.
Hopefully he didn't wear it to karate.
Yeah. And then DJ exits to the kitchen and sees that Jesse has removed all of the doors from the kitchen cabinets. DJ tries to stall Danny, but he enters the kitchen and sees Jesse and the mess.
Danny is stunned as Jesse tries to explain the chain of events for the cabinet doors being removed. Danny's upset, asking how Jesse could ruin his spring cleaning day, with which he equates to his Christmas.
Ooh,
Happy day.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. We cut to the living room. Stephanie enters with a police officer in tow. That happens.
Yeah,
right?
As one does when they're missing a stuffed animal.
Yeah, like one of your daughters, right, Marla? Just like, hey, there's a cop in the house.
Brought the cops.
Yeah. She tells him that Mr. Bear has been kidnapped and then describes what Mr. Bear looks like to the policeman. And he realizes, light bulb, that it's a stuffed animal.
Danny and Jesse enter and see Stephanie with the police officer. Joey enters and tells Stephanie that he may have placed Mr. Bear in the bag with the toys they gave to charity. Good one, Joey.
Oh.
Stephanie gets upset and she exits.
Oh, she's upset. So we cut to the girls' room and Stephanie is making signs that read, "Have you seen this bear?" So cute. Big reward. I mean it. Stephanie tells DJ that she's going to put one on every telephone pole in America. And DJ tells Stephanie to grow up and move on. As an older sister, grow up, move on.
Yep.
Like
Sounds
when
right.
Stephanie lost DJ's pillow person. Steph then reveals DJ's pillow person and DJ is ecstatic. Got her.
Joey enters the girls' room and tells Stephanie he feels terrible about giving Mr. Bear away and wants to know if there's anything he could do to make up for it. He sits at the table and begins making signs with Stephanie.
We cut to the kitchen where Jesse is finishing the cabinets, and Danny enters, sees the new cabinet doors, and tells Jesse that he loves the way they look. Danny hugs Jesse. Always a reason to hug on Full House. Yep.
We cut to the living room as Grandma Katsopoulos arranges stuffed toy bears on the couch. DJ, Michelle, Danny, Jesse, and Grandpa Katsopoulos enter. Grandma recalls Jesse's stuffed toy named Doggy Katsopoulos. As Jesse is getting embarrassed by the story, Stephanie enters. I cannot believe how many times I just had to say Katsopoulos, by the way. Please never do that to me again.
But you nailed it. Yeah, Katsopoulos. Yeah. Almost like Ketchupoulos. Yeah. Almost. So Stephanie begins to interview the bears seated on the couch. And Joey enters holding a stuffed Mr. Bear, which Stephanie immediately discovers it's just a replica. Okay, she knows. She knows her bear stuff.
Of course.
Joey insists that the bear is Mr. Bear's twin brother, Dr. Bear. Dr. Bear. Yeah. Stephanie tells Joey to return the bear and exits. Michelle has surrounded herself with all the toy bears on the couch and says, "My bear."
We cut to the girls' room. Stephanie is seated near the window. The entire family enters as Danny tries to encourage Steph that she still has them in her life. Joey tells her that wherever Mr. Bear is, he's bringing happiness to some other kid.
Oh, that's a nice Full House moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then Danny tells Stephanie that her mom gave her Mr. Bear when she came home from the hospital when Michelle was born. And DJ then says that she remembers everything about their mom. And the girls are afraid that they don't talk enough about their mom anymore. And Jesse says that when he misses Pam and feels sad, he tries to remember all of the good times.
Everyone begins to recall Everyone begins to recall warm stories about Pam. Stephanie talks about Pam's laugh, especially when they used to sing a silly song, and everyone begins singing On Top of Spaghetti. Danny tells the girls that they can always remember their mom by thinking about all of the happy times they had with her. Danny tells the girls how he sees so much of Pam in each of them, and they all decide to watch Danny's home movies and exit.
We cut to the living room where everyone is gathered around the TV set. We watch the video of Pam bringing Michelle home from the hospital after she was born. This is a tearjerker.
Literally.
Yeah. As they watch Pam on the video, the girls talk about how much they look like their mom. Michelle sees herself on the video and says, "Cute baby."
On the video, Joey enters carrying Mr. Bear. We see Michelle go to the piano seat and remove Mr. Bear. She brings it to Stephanie, and we learn that she hid Mr. Bear in the piano seat. Stephanie apologizes to Joey for blaming him about Mr. Bear's disappearance.
Family watches the video of Danny and Pam together holding newborn Michelle. So happy, so in love. the video ends with Pam holding Michelle and saying, "We love you" to Danny. Wow, that's a tearjerker. That's season 2, episode 18. Goodbye, Mr. Bear. There's some good lessons in this one. Like celebrating, even though someone's gone, you can still celebrate all those wonderful times that you had with them, It's like,
and I think the important message is when, they talk about how we don't really talk about her anymore, and I'm sure as a spouse passes away to the kids, you don't want to bring up that because it's sad. You don't want to, encourage those unhappy, that unhappy reality. But I think keeping their memory alive is so important.
Absolutely. I had like a stretch a couple of years ago where I lost 9 people in probably like a 14-month span.
9 people?
9 people, yeah. And it was just crazy. Bob was part of that. My brother was part of that. My dad was part of that. Friends were part of that. Family members were part of that. And I just thought, how am I gonna process all of this loss?
Yeah.
And I thought, those people gave me so much happiness and so many amazing moments in my life.
Yeah.
That I can fill that well up with all of those great stories. And I have such a deep well of, just Bob Saget stories. I mean, the well's already overflowing, but I thought, that's how I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to just feel like my well is so full with incredible stories and memories. And you know what? I don't know where I came up with that, but it really helped me.
That's a great idea. I mean, I think that's an important lesson. I think you can go one way or the other, right? You could be, I just lost 9 people. I'm in the depths of despair and I don't know how I'm going to move forward, or turning it around like that, I think is obviously easier said than done.
Yeah, it was like, because the sadness was overwhelming. I remember it just being like, okay, powers that be, whatever, why me? Why,
you got me.
Why is this? I'm done. Okay. Like whatever you're going to throw at me. And that was just kind of like, I don't know if that was just kind of a defense mechanism for myself or whether it was just, I don't know where that choice came from, but it was a really clear choice of, okay, you better look at the positive side of this,
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, so hard.
We should shift gears. Should we shift gears?
Let's shift.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Should we play a game?
Yeah,
and then we can mix
gears.
it up. I was thinking like we could do our game, but then also mix it up with like some rapid fire questions. Could be kind of fun. Are you into that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. That sounds fun.
Great. Love that.
All right.
Okay. This game is called I'm Stuffed. In this episode, as we know, Stephanie thinks that her stuffed animal, Mr. Bear's gone forever. So I'm going to ask you some questions about stuffed animals and fictional bears, and we'll see how many you get correct. But regardless, you'll probably still win a prize.
Oh, well, I don't know what the prize is, but I'm excited.
The prize is that I don't know what the prize is. We'll have to think of something. Okay, true or false?
Okay.
Stuffed animals have been around for centuries.
Well, you see them in like documentaries of where they'll go into a cave or something and you'll see those little dolls, that they make out of like...
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to say, I'm going to say yes. I think they've been around for centuries. Yeah.
Okay. The answer is true. Good one. Ancient Egyptians are believed to have made stuffed animal toys as far back as 2000 BC.
2000 BC. Yeah, that's going back.
That's going back
centuries.
That's before COVID, is what that BC means.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it stands for. Okay, here's another true or false. The teddy bear was named after President Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt.
Boy. Really? That's only as far back as we're going that it was named that?
Yeah, what were they
Seemed
calling
like-
it before? Just bear, not teddy bear.
Bear.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly, if it was named after a president, it certainly would pin a huge moniker on it. But why would it be named after Teddy Roosevelt? Did he do something? Was it a national holiday where he said, hey, we're gonna present
Name this bear
bears to,
after myself.
yeah. Seems so silly and outlandish. I will say yes. I'll say yes, it was named after Teddy Roosevelt, our president.
Okay, it is true. True. It dates back to 1902 when U.S. President Teddy Roosevelt went on a hunting trip and refused to shoot a bear that had been captured and tied to a tree. How much more do you love Teddy Roosevelt now after hearing this story?
And you know what? Why didn't they name like a chain after Dick Cheney?
Oh, no.
Some hunting stuff happened with him.
Absolutely not, Dave. No.
No?
That's 3 dad jokes.
Why? That's bad.
You're starting to like really, make this show it's going to be called Dad Joke Rewind soon.
Yeah. All right, so I need to stop.
No, never stop.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so now
You hear
let's do
that,
a little
folks?
like rapid fire.
Marla said never stop.
Never stop.
So,
No, it's fabulous.
okay.
We love it.
Green light. Green light.
Green light.
Okay.
I might have to keep you in check, but we'll see. Right now I'm saying it's okay. I could go back on that at any time. Okay? Let's just be very clear.
All right.
I can only take
All right.
so much.
I'll know when to stop.
Okay, a rapid fire. Here we go. Ready?
Okay.
Stuffed animals or stuffed crust pizza?
Stuffed crust.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
What is the funny bear's name in the Muppets?
I know this because I worked on the Muppet Babies, and it is Fozzie Bear.
Oh. What did you do on the Muppet Babies? I know you've told me this before.
I did 5 voices. I did animal.
Okay, Max Leon says Fozzie.
I did
Bunsen Honeydew. Why, certainly, Baker. This is precisely what we should be doing.
And then I did Waldorf and Statler, the 2 old men in the balcony. Yeah. I did those 2 voices too. Yeah. You did what? You're hearing voices. Yeah, that's not what I said. Who's dead? Oh, brother. So I did those 2 guys. And then I did
Bean Bunny, who was a small little bunny who kind of sounded like this.
So
Wow, that's
I did those
impressive.
voices. So Greg Berg did the voice of Fozzie on the Muppet Babies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, this is another like kind of foodie one.
Oh, okay.
Stuffing or mashed potatoes?
Ooh. Depends who's making the stuffing, because I do like gravy on both. I don't know if people put gravy on
Gravy
their
on stuffing. Interesting. Okay, I mean, listen,
Yeah.
it all kind of is one big, mess anyway, so it's fine.
I think it depends on the gravy, but I'm probably gonna go with mashed potatoes.
Okay, I would definitely pick stuffing. You're not asking me, but I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You must have a good stuffing maker.
My mom makes fantastic stuffing. And even this year at Thanksgiving, I hosted, but I was like, I'm not making the stuffing because you have to do it because yours is just too good.
Did you ever have rutabagas?
No. What is
Do you know what rutabagas are?
Is it like a vegetable?
It's a Michigan thing.
Okay.
My mom and my grandmothers both made them. It's kind of like a table turnip. I don't know why they call them tables, but it's kind of like it's like a turnip, and you mash them, and basically what you do is you mash them. They're kind of sour tasting, and they have the consistency of kind of like mashed potatoes, but then you just add butter and like heavy whipping cream and salt.
Right,
and
you take a
pepper.
vegetable and completely annihilate it until it's no longer a vegetable and just filled with butter and cream. That's fantastic. It's what we want.
Most people don't know what rutabagas are, but here
The
in
only
Michigan,
reason I know rutabaga is because I worked on a TV show once. It was a sitcom, and they told the background. I don't know if you know this. You can't make sound, And so they would tell the background, say rutabaga and turnips, but whisper it. So it's like while you're talking to somebody in a scene, because it's like enough syllables to have your mouth rutabaga and turnips.
Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now. Ready?
Yeah, action. Yep, that's exactly right.
Wow.
Perfect.
I never knew that.
Next time you do background work, you're going to be so prepared.
Hopefully, I get an atmosphere job here soon.
Well, now that Fuller House is canceled, you gotta make it happen.
Gotta get back out there. Yep.
Okay, this is a hugely successful animatronic toy.
Oh, that's right. We're still playing the game. Oh, okay.
We're playing the game. I'm not getting out of this.
Okay.
It was popular in the 1980s.
Ooh. Okay.
Was his name Winnie the Pooh,
What?
Paddington Bear, or Teddy Ruxpin?
I'm gonna 80s. Boy. I'll say Paddington Bear.
Oh man, Dave, this is disappointing that you said Paddington. It's Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin. I was too old by the time.
You were too old. So my neighbor had one, and I was so jealous. She got it for Christmas, and my parents didn't get me a Teddy Ruxpin, and I was just so mad at them. And I used to go over to her house all the time and play. I mean, I was so jealous. He had like the cassette in him that made him talk. It was so cool. He could move his mouth and his eyes, and he read stories. He read stories. Yes,
you could have this.
Yes, he's amazing. I'm sure we could find one on like eBay or something.
Now they have the bass on the wall that sings songs.
Totally, that thing is not annoying at all. I would love one of those.
What do they call those? Is it a fish on the wall, fish on the mantle, bass on the mantle, singing bass?
Pain in the bass.
Pain in the bass?
It's a pain in the bass. That's what I believe.
Hey, that's a mom joke. That's
you have some competition.
That's the mom version of a dad joke right there, okay? Okay, I'm going to let you know when there's too many.
Okay, 1 for Marla, 3 for Dave.
And I'll say, you know what? Cut it out.
Yeah, cut it out.
Let's go. I'm going to tell you, cut it out. All right.
Perfect.
What a segue.
Cut it out.
Every episode of Full House had a heartfelt scene, and we have cut out a scene from season 2, episode 18 that we're going to read together. And Marla, I'm going to be playing the role of Danny, Joey, and Jesse, and you're going to be the girls, DJ and Stephanie.
Perfect.
All right. Okay. We're in the girls' room, and Danny says, "You see, girls don't ever have to worry about forgetting about your mom because you can think about those happy times whenever you want." Yeah, that's right. See, the key thing is just to keep those happy memories of Pam in our hearts. That way, she'll always be with us. And then Danny says, "You know, another thing that helps me remember, I see so much of Pam in you 3 girls. DJ, everything you do, you try to be the best at. That's just like your mom."
What about me?
Well, you know how you get so excited about everything?
Yeah? Yeah?
That's exactly like your mom. And Jesse says, "Hey, let's not forget little Michelle. Every time I see this kid giggle, I think of Pam."
It's good that we remember Mommy because we have to tell Michelle what she was like.
And then Jesse says, "You know what I'm thinking, girls? It's been a long time since we watched those home movies of Danny's. What do you say? You guys want to go look at them?"
Yeah, let's go watch them. Can we do it now?
"Are you kidding me? If spring cleaning is my Christmas, home movies are like my New Year's Eve." And then the family heads downstairs to watch home movies, and it was a beautiful little episode.
It was really sweet. What do you think the overarching message was for this one?
I think it's just don't forget about people, that they live on in your hearts and your minds.
Yeah.
And you know, celebrate people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know?
definitely. I mean, I love the home movie component because I feel like now we all have so much information on our phone and so many different videos, and it's so hard to find them. So I kind of love this old-fashioned idea of the home videos. Like you just pop it in and there it is. Because I feel like I'm always searching, what was that one like dance performance of my kids or whatever. It's just so nice that we got to go back to the VHS.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to watch those things too. Like I have voice messages from my dad that I saved and I've never listened to them. And he's been gone, almost 4 years, which is crazy. So I think it's nice to have those things where you can revisit them at any time you want when you're ready.
Yeah, I have messages dating back probably close to 20 years. I got an app that was able to download them all, and I kept them. And then I used to download them from my answer. I had an answering machine that you could put a cord into and, download them back in the day.
Wow.
And so I have like crazy messages from people just, who are no longer with us, but they're funny,
Yeah. I also love the archaic answering machine that you needed a plug to. I mean, kids today will never understand that you used to have to listen to a tape when you got home to see who called you while you were gone.
Well, people that had pagers, that always annoyed me. Like they'd sit there and they'd look down, oh, I'm getting a page. I got to take this.
Yeah.
And then it would display somebody's name and number, and then they'd go call them back.
Yeah. Yeah. No, those were pretty, I'm glad the pagers are gone. Although there was something nice about a pager because you didn't have to call the person back. Now on your phone, everyone knows how to get a hold of you. And if you're not answering it, you got to call them back. Yeah. But a pager was felt more optional.
Yeah. And now people can track you. Like if you, what's the thing where they can, your location, like wherever you are.
Yep.
Do you do that with anybody?
Oh, I do it with my family. Yeah, we're all on one. And I do feel so sorry for kids. I keep saying kids today, but I do because how many times, Dave, these kids today, how many times did you tell your mom you were going somewhere, but you weren't there? You were really doing something that you weren't allowed to do. I mean, I feel like that was like every time I left the house. So my daughter, she has to be where she says she's going to be because I could just click one button and make sure she's there.
Can't get away with anything now.
No, I mean, unless if she was really smart, she'd like leave her phone where she said she was gonna and then go do the other thing. That's a pro move right there, but nobody tell her that.
Yeah. Big mother. It went from big brother to big mother is watching you.
Big mother, 100%. Yeah. Oh, I'm watching. Trust me. But it's the technology is like crazy. You can see if they're in a car, how fast the car's going. So that would have been really bad for Gia and Steph when they did that episode where they were in the car with those boys. Really bad.
Ooh, yeah. I'm so happy that there weren't cell phones and cameras everywhere when I was a kid.
So happy.
You'd be devious,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Not allowed anymore. Sorry.
No.
Fine
Big mother is watching.
So we got a lot of really great questions sent our way. I got some in my Instagram. You got some in yours. And I know that our Full House page got some. Do you want to answer a couple questions? Some fan questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we've been trying to incorporate this for a while. Mm-hmm. And, we reached out to all of you and we said, hey, shoot us a Dave and Marla, a DM, on our Instagram or our YouTube channel. So these are pulled from our Instagram, YouTube channel, our comments, and there's some good ones. So I'll start us off. This is an interesting one. It comes to us from Ben Bin C888, who asks, Dave, what was it like working with Mickey Rooney? Now, I'm not sure how much of our audience will remember Mickey Rooney, but at one point during his career, he was the biggest star on the planet. And his girlfriend was Judy Garland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, if you Google videos of Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland, doing the Walk of Fame, in Hollywood. But he was a really interesting guy. I think he was married. I check me on this, but I think he was married 8 times. Pretty sure.
Like I think you give up after the 3rd.
Yeah. You're not good at this.
This feels like it's not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he was really affable and he knew the show, he knew Full House, and I thought, wow, that's amazing that Mickey Rooney knows our show. I don't know whether he really did or not, but every conversation we had, and John and I and Bob caught on to this, every conversation we would start, Mickey Rooney would become an expert at it.
Oh,
and so we'd be talking so we would talk about something, and John would go, oh, I'm drumming with the Beach Boys, and this. Mickey was like, oh man, the Beach Boys. I hung out with them, and it's like
I drummed with the Beach Boys.
Like every time we mentioned a subject, Mickey Rooney had like a topper story.
Of course,
so
yes.
I started calling him Topper, and then I said, and then we were like elbowing each other, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to play hockey this week. Oh, I play hockey. I said, you play hockey? He goes, oh man, I was like the fastest skater growing up and this and that. He said, I played semi-pro. And I know as a hockey player, whenever a guy says I played semi-pro, he didn't or she didn't.
Okay.
It's like, I played in the I, or I played here,
Got it.
or I played in Kamloops, or I played in Saskatchewan, or I played East Coast League. But any guy goes, oh, I played semi-pro. No, you didn't.
Right. Yeah.
No.
But did you ever ask him if he slept with his hockey stick?
No, I should have.
Don't think he could top that.
But I remember I called him out. I go, do you shoot right or left? And he goes, it doesn't matter. I go, yes, it does.
He's like, both. I do both.
Yes, it does. Yeah. He goes, I was a goalie a lot of times. And I was like, oh, okay. I see where this is going. All right.
Don't meet your heroes.
So, yeah, I know.
Okay, I have one for us.
Oh, okay.
This is Andy for the Money on Instagram asks.
Okay.
And this is such a great question because I wonder this as well. So you might need to answer it because you were more involved in the curation of the show. What happened with Danny and Gia's mom? Do you remember when they were dating?
I didn't know that Gia's mom was ever on the show.
Character name was. I feel like her name in real life was Andrea. I'm going to have to look this up, but they dated for a couple episodes. And then I feel like it just kind of like either fizzled or
maybe, she smoked too much.
She definitely smoked too much. It was a real turnoff for Danny. It was really hard for him to keep his house clean with all that cigarette smoke. But yeah, I was hoping you would know the answer to this one because
I don't. So now, okay, folks, audience, you got to let us know if you know this one because I do not.
We don't. We're stumped on this one.
I had no idea. First of all, that Gia's mom made an appearance on the show. That character.
Oh yeah, no, she had a couple of episodes.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See? Yeah. It's probably because I haven't seen all the episodes that I don't know.
Right.
Now, when I'm watching future episodes, I'm going to say, there's Gia's mom.
Yeah. I mean, she comes much later, probably like season 8.
Smoking.
Yeah. Gia's mom with her
smoking.
Oxygen tank again.
Yeah, she's out behind the house. She's smoking. We're going to have to find out. So
yeah. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for that answer.
Yeah. We'll try and field that one. This one is from Deborah Kane, who asks, what was the reason for Fuller House to end? Because they left us on a cliffhanger with Stephanie being pregnant. Well, I will say, at the time, we were on Netflix, and Netflix kind of had a run of 5 seasons, and that was it. Just based on whatever their metrics are of after 5 seasons, people lose interest or whatever. But the show was still very, very popular when they decided not to pick us up. That's kind of interesting. You got this big franchise, and you're like, we only want it for 5 years. People won't want it more than.
I know, and probably when you started, you're like, 5 years, great, that's a long time, and then it goes by in a flash.
And we didn't know it was going to be 5 years. We were like, okay, they're going to pick up the first season, and then we would wait, and then they would, because Netflix doesn't have ratings like traditional networks, it's very proprietary to them. So they can go, the show's not doing great. Right. And I think they would use that as a ploy during renegotiations for the pickup. The show's not doing very well. It's just, and this and that. But I kind of have a hunch the show was doing really well.
Well, it's funny. I was going to answer or ask my next question, but I think this should just be addressed because there were so many people asking this. So there's not one specific person who asked this next question because there were so many, of the same. But will there be another Full House? That was a lot of people asking that.
Sure.
Fullest House, I believe, was pitched multiple times.
Yeah. I've talked about it.
Yeah.
In social media and other places, and I think it would still be great. It would be great to bring back the show as Fullest House and maybe keep Bob Saget's legacy alive in some way with videos or flashbacks or something.
Mm-hmm.
But never say never.
Yeah.
You and I know this both really well. Like all of a sudden you're like, I wasn't working last week and now this week I'm working.
Yes.
Where'd that come from?
So funny in our business. It really does work like that. Or even more extreme. I would go like a year where I wouldn't work and just be like a professional, stay-at-home person. And then you never see your family. You go from one extreme to the other in minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it really is feast or famine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And then it all happens at the same time. I'm kind of going through that right now.
Really?
Maybe not with just this show, but I'm doing a movie.
Oh, that's right. Did you start shooting your movie yet?
We have not started shooting yet.
Okay.
But we're trying to get all the dates kind of nailed down and the when and the wheres and all that stuff. And
right.
So, but I'm excited.
It's always nice when
that.
you like have a job waiting,
Yeah.
I love that, but that phase before you have to start working on it, like even the preparatory phase, like, okay, I got this job and I'm going to be starting it. And it just feels like, fun and easy. And then once you start, you're like really in it. It's always fun and easy, or not easy, but it's always fun. But just, I don't know. There's like that blissful time of like, I got a job coming up,
Yeah. Right.
I like that.
I can deposit a check at some point. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, man.
This one I actually thought was a really fun one. This is from Alex Johnson. Did you happen to take any props from either Full House or Full House?
I did. Yes. I took Mr. Woodchuck.
That's it?
I took Mr. Woodchuck. Yeah, that's all I wanted. That's all I really wanted.
I think that's fair.
People took stuff.
I took the couch. I'm just kidding.
What? No. I don't know who has the couch. I want to say
I think John has the couch, doesn't he?
John has the couch.
John has the couch.
Yeah. And I think Jody has the CPAPy.
What is that?
He's a CPAPy. You never heard what a CPAPy is?
No. What are we talking about?
I'm a CPAPy. I'm an old salt from way back when. I got a pipe and I love the ocean.
Okay.
He's like a real life Popeye kind of character.
And what is it, like a statue that she had in the house?
A statue, yeah.
Okay.
It was a statue, and he had but we called him the CPAPy. Bob actually nicknamed him the CPAPy. When Bob would go through the set, he would kind of make fun of all the props and go, "This isn't a real house. Look, we have a CPAPy." At the bottom, and Jody loved CPAPy, so I think she has the CPAPy.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I didn't even really take, I'm such a rule follower. So I'm like, I see a set and I'm like, this is all for the show. You do not take anything. So I didn't take anything from Fuller House, but Kim Moffitt, our friend Kim Moffitt, she took these right here. Can you see the like salt and pepper shakers right there?
Ooh,
from the
kitchen?
And I didn't, we were like, I hope I'm not getting Kim in trouble. I hope Warner Brothers doesn't come for her after this. But we were like, went to get drinks or something after our last taping. She's like, here, I brought you these. I figured you wanted something from the set. And I was like, oh my goodness, thank you. I don't even know what this is or why I have them, but I was happy to have them just as some sort of something. So yeah, those salt and pepper shakers right there, they're from the kitchen.
Worth millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to sell them too and not share any with anybody.
Ooh,
maybe with Kim. I'll share it with Kim. She deserves it.
That's it. I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that. But thank you, everybody. We love hearing your thoughts about Full House. And, tell us about your favorite episode or just why you love the show so much. And you can send us a comment or a question at any of our socials, or shoot us a Dave and Marla.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Shoot us a Dave and Marla. I think Dave and Marla is the best. That feels like the easiest way to get in touch with us. So please shoot a Dave and Marla. As you know, Dave, we close every episode of Full House Rewind by giving all of you a hug who need it.
Yes. And in this episode, everyone talks about how much Pam meant to them and how much they miss her. And all of us miss somebody, right? Whether they're still with us or not, right? You miss them.
Yeah. So for all of you who are missing somebody or thinking of somebody you've lost, this hug is for you.
There you go. Bring it in, everybody.
Big hug.
There you go. Big hug. That's our show. Thank you so much for stopping by.
And join us next time here on Full House Rewind. And you can watch all of our episodes on our Full House Rewind YouTube channel.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks.